relationship right, then we can get our policies right. I think, by and large, our policies, the major ones in Singapore, are in the right direction. They may need fine-tuning, adjusting. The rough edges have to be smoothed off, but we are heading in the right way. And I'd like to take two examples tonight of broad policy areas to give you a sense of how we should maintain our direction at the same time as we make this adjustment. Both important. And one of these policies is foreign workers and immigrants. It's not easy to maintain because these are policies where the benefits are there, but they are long-term. The downsides are immediate, the side effects are visible, and people react to them, and we have to respond to this. The foreign workers and immigrants we have taken have given us considerable benefits. Our economy has grown, our population has increased. But over the last few years, the changes have been taking place quite fast, and Singaporeans worry about the impact on them. Last year I spoke of this at length in the rally, so I won't repeat the explanations which I gave you. Hopefully you remember what I said last year. I think that Singaporeans understand the logic of the policy, but the emotional impact, they still feel that, and that still causes worry and concern. So I empathize with this, and we are acting to relieve the pressures and to make clear that we are putting Singaporeans first. So tonight, what I would like to explain is not the basic rationale, which I think you know, but to talk about three further areas where we can help Singaporeans to cope with these issues and the consequences of these issues. Housing, education, and jobs. Let me start with housing. I think it's at the top of a lot of people's minds. It's a key expression of putting Singaporeans first. Our home ownership policy ensures that every family has a stake in Singapore. But in the last 2 years, with property prices going up, spiking up sharply, many people have become unsettled. Young couples especially, because they want to get married, they want to book a flat, they want to start their family, and no flat means baby is put off. Or worse, they fear they will not be able to afford the homes when finally they get a flat. So HDB is building many more flats. This year, 25,000 BTO flats, and I think in recent tenders or recent BTO exercises, the ratio of applicants to flats has gradually been coming down. And we will keep on putting out the supply onto the market. One group who is most worried are those who are earning just below $8,000. It's just below the income ceiling, and they fear that they may breach the ceiling. There are more such couples now because people are getting married later, so they are applying for flats when they are more senior in their careers, so their incomes have gone up. There are more women who are working, so the family income has also gone up. And so they are quite worried, because if you're earning $7,500 and you get a promotion, you're not sure whether that's good news or bad news. Because you may get promoted to $8,500 and then you have to write an appeal to your MP. And before they get the HDB flat. We have been studying this for some time. So what we will do is we will raise the HDB ceiling for income per household from $8,000 to $10,000. And for executive condominiums, where the ceiling is $10,000 now, we will raise that to $12,000. So we will bring more people into the HDB net, and you don't have to worry so much. But the result of bringing more people into the HDB net is that there's going to be more demand for the BTO flats. So we've got to make sure that HDB builds enough flats to cope with this extra demand. I've discussed this with Khaw Boon Wan, and he's talked to his staff, and next year HDB will be able to build another 25,000 flats, BTO, same like this year. And that's a big number. He's quite confident that with these measures, we can meet the demand and we can keep the price of new flats stable and affordable. However, there's a minority of Singaporeans who can't afford purchase flats, can't afford a home ownership, and they will need rental flats. And we know this, and we are increasing the supply of rental flats. And over the next 2 years, we will add 7,000 rental flats to our supply, so we can cater to more families who need this help. We are also postponing the demolition of some SIRS blocks so that we can use them as temporary rental units. Because when you do a SIRS project, you build a new block, you move the people from the old block into the new blocks, and the old blocks can be demolished and redeveloped in due course. But instead of demolishing them now, we can use them as temporary rental flats until we can relieve the pressure on rentals, and we can do the redevelopment a little bit later on. And I think all these measures will ease the waiting time and make things better for households who may be very anxious to get a solution to their housing problems. But I should say that the rental flats, building more rental flats, is not really the most fundamental solution to the problems which these households face. Because their problems are really upstream. They've run into financial difficulties, or their families have split up, or there have been some gambling, or some business failure. And so as a result, they've cashed out on their flat, which they already own, and now they want a rental flat as another safety net. And this is something which we have to study and address, because these are deeper social issues, not so easy to solve. But overall, I promise you, we will keep housing available and affordable for Singaporeans. So the first thing we are making a move on is housing.